Welcome everyone to another episode of the Guestbook Show. Super excited to be working with one of my favorite hotel partners at Outrigger, and Karen Codilla joining us today all the way from the shores of Hawaii. Welcome, Karen, to the Guestbook Show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. Nice having you. Love always and enjoy speaking with you. I think the basic question that most hoteliers want to know is, what has been your start in the hotel industry, and just kind of briefly share your experience and your journey, because I think the journey is equally important and defines your experience today.
Sure. So I started like 17-ish years ago in front desk, and it was at a limited service property. So I'm sure many folks know that means you do a whole bunch of stuff other than just front desk. Transitioned into reservations back when revenue management wasn't a thing. And when revenue management became its own discipline, I was thrown into there and fell in love. Loved the whole optimization of channels and segments, and loved learning all the different things that it brought to the table. So I did a few stints in some California hotels in revenue management and e-commerce, and really had fun learning along with the industry in terms of what the best practices were. And I moved over to Travelocity, the little gnome guy.
Yeah, never heard of them. Who are those guys?
It was a really fun experience, not only literally helping pick amazing race prizes and things like that, but I was lucky enough to work the Hawaii market for Travelocity and really work with all the hoteliers and tour operators, see what their best practices were. And that was really eye-opening to see different approaches. And then that brought me, I moved from our San Francisco office to Honolulu with Travelocity. And then when they got acquired by Expedia, I found myself at the Modern Honolulu independent property. And then now I am at Outrigger Hospitality.
Awesome. And then what is your current role within Outrigger and responsibilities within such a great and amazing organization at Outrigger?
Sure. As the Corporate Director of Revenue and Distribution, I oversee the revenue strategies for our Hawaii properties and distribution globally. So we have Hawaii properties and 6 Asia Pacific properties as well.
Amazing. Your journey is like mine with many hoteliers that are out there as they've gone between the hotel ops side to hotel tech and vendor side, and then back to the hotel side. So thank you for sharing your journey in that process. And as you've gone through that journey, I'm sure you've been a part of many hotels, branded, independent, boutique, and also on the vendor side. It'll be interesting to know if a hotelier asked you what your perspective on just guest loyalty, guest rewards, or how that benefits. Obviously, you've seen it from the brand side, so we know how monumental it is on the brand side. Now that you're on the independent side, just curious your open thoughts on loyalty and rewards in the hotel industry specifically.
Sure. I think we, as just consumer culture in general, especially in the hotel space, have set an expectation for some type of reward or perk for being loyal. And I do believe that it's very important for hotels to have some type of, perk reward for our loyal guests who keep coming back.
Absolutely. Yeah, we see a very important aspect of the consumer life cycle itself. And if there was an evolution, or if Outrigger had, unlimited resources, wouldn't that be nice? Unlimited resources.
Of course.
If you could draft or craft your own version of something in the future, or the evolution of what Outrigger is currently doing, what would 1 or 2 of those ideas be that you think that feedback from the guests have been received? It could be more charity. It could be, a bigger boost. It could be waiving housekeeping. I'm just curious, the evolution of loyalty, where do you kind of see the trajectory of that heading?
Sure. I think a referral model like what Uber does is what would be really popular with today's travelers.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you get a stay at a hotel, you get a promo code from the Guestbook, and you share that with a friend to stay at the same property or, you know, another property within the network.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then both you and your friend get a little bit of a perk to encourage, you know, continual new consumers coming into the program.
Yeah, that's a great example. I mean, similar to myself, and I'm sure yourself, Karen, as we discover new brands in our life, whether it's retail, food, Uber, rideshare. When we have great experiences, we like to share those great experiences with our
Yeah.
friends and family. And I think that's a really good point as far as the evolution of loyalty is concerned.
Yeah.
That's a great analysis. So I'm going to pause here for a second and kind of go rapid fire question. We're going to mix it up a little bit. No curveballs, I promise. Favorite travel destination, Karen?
San Francisco, and that's a little biased because I used to live there. However, I still love going back.
Favorite restaurant in San Francisco?
Oh,
It's tough.
just one.
I know, it's tough. Or a certain cuisine, because Little Italy's amazing. There's some really secret, like, you know, Burma superstars out there, some really great restaurants. But yeah, favorite restaurant in San Francisco?
Yeah, I would have to say maybe Aziza, San Francisco.
Nice choice. Second question, if you had an option, beach resort, mountain resort, or urban hotel?
It would depend on my mood. And I know because I live here, right, people would think, she doesn't want to go to the beach. And oftentimes we don't get to enjoy the islands that we live in. So I still do enjoy a beach vacation. And sometimes I miss the urban city environment and love going to like a New York or something like that.
Gotcha.
So if I had to pick one, it would be a beach.
Excellent answer. You can't go wrong with beach. Being in Hawaii, have you had the opportunity to visit all the islands?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
Oh, that's a dangerous question. You're going to get me in trouble.
Not to be distributed to your counterparts.
A favorite, I love Kauai because it is super green. It is the one island where I would rather look at the mountain views than look at an ocean or a beach, just because those sea cliffs and the mountains are amazing.
Last question. What's in the future for Outrigger? What's new? What's something that we can expect? Any properties on the horizon? Whatever you can share. Would love to learn more about Outrigger, so our Guestbook guests know about what Outrigger's up to. So please share what's on the horizon for Outrigger.
Sure. Well, first, we definitely want to get in a place where all of our Hawaii properties can reopen once COVID is over. However, we do have some really exciting properties in the works and some great beach destinations outside of Hawaii. So those properties are exquisite, something that I would be a dream beach vacation for me. So can't wait for them to come on board if that happens.
Awesome. Yeah, we're looking forward to receiving the news of Hawaii being fully open and Outrigger growing its portfolio so that there's many more beach destinations that we can all visit. I want to thank you, Karen Codilla, today for your time. I want to thank you for your honest answers. And we just love, as Guestbook, working with hotel partners that just simply get it and understand the value. Thank you again, Karen. And once again, this is Dave Dougal from the Guestbook.
It's a pleasure. Thanks. Take care.
Thank you.